lastly, I think, again, Mauch Lake Park, seeking a motion for approval to enter into a revenue support agreement with the Lehigh and Northampton Transportation Authority, or LANTA, to implement a Mauch Lake Park beach bus route that will serve the communities of Jim Thorpe, Lansford, Summit Hill, and Nesquehoning on 10 consecutive Saturdays commencing July 1, 2023 and concluding September 2nd, 2023, Labor Day weekend. The cost of the service prior to fare collections and other potential revenue generating offsets is $2,976.60.
Move to approve. And I'll second that with a little bit of discussion here. I mean, we've been going over this for a while. And I just look at this agreement is a public transportation that anyone can get on and off. This is not a bus to the park, it's a bus to anywhere. We have no way to know that the child gets to the park, and if they get there and there's no lifeguard on duty, we're making the decision for the child to swim at their own risk. We're a founding member of Peace Corps since I think it's 1988 or it's 1981, 1987, and that's a consortium that's joined counties together to reduce insurance costs. We're putting our membership at risk, and we were already told that there's provisions that are not covered under this plan. If this is for a family use for the park for quality time, then make it family to the park. Then you would have an adult to oversee it. As for now, this issue has to be put to rest. This tabling is not working for me. I don't see any provisions that any child will reach the park destination safely. That's all I have to say.
I think there's no question LANTA Carbon Transit has proven itself extremely safe in its operation. So I have no question about the ability for Carbon Transit, aka LANTA, who manages that, to safely transport any citizen of Carbon County to Mauch Lake Park. Also extremely confident, having spent the last 3 years of summer Saturdays, Sundays, or holidays, with very few exceptions, visiting Mauch Lake Park, the beach specifically, and observing the rangers patrolling the beach, the lifeguards observing the swim area, that all citizens and guests of Carbon County have an extremely safe outdoor recreational environment in which to enjoy. Anything less than accepting of this summer Saturdays bus route that includes Mauch Lake Park significantly adversely impacts the citizens of Nesquehoning, Summit Hill, Lansford, and Jim Thorpe, and specifically those of low to moderate income who, unlike the three of us, earn $70-some thousand a year, drive $40,000-$50,000 shiny vehicles that you see parked out front, don't have low-cost, affordable transportation to Mauch Lake Park, be it a senior citizen, a family, or a teenager. What age, I ask, is appropriate for someone to get on a bus and go to Mauch Lake Park? What age is appropriate for someone to walk to the Lehighton Pool, the Palmerton Pool? You're on a pond up in Weatherly. It's all well below 12 years of age. Hasn't been an issue or concern. At 10 o'clock this morning, I had a call from Peace Corps, who said they would provide us some recommendations in regards to risk mitigation. The individual who replaced John Salade, who we know very well from many years working with the county, they were not comfortable delving into the operational procedures of Mauch Lake Park and would not be submitting recommendations at this time in regards to how we operate Mauch Lake Park. We remain fully covered. We have appropriate levels of protection to cover any potential liabilities that could be foreseen. That's all I have on this.
I'm just concerned at the age, and what age are the buses going to, or Atlanta going to allow people to ride alone and to be dropped off at the lake? We are not a babysitter. I do think 12 is too young, 14 is okay. But when you talk about the swimming pools in the area, we're talking two different things here. We're talking where you can see the bottom, you know, the pools, etc. It's a lot smaller area. You have maybe most likely three lifeguards around that swimming area for these people. And I just have a concern with the age of these people dropped off. I'm also concerned about if P-Corps doesn't want to give us, doesn't want to make comments, and with our meeting with them, they have great concern over this. And I'm just concerned that, and interested really, and see how many people are going to take advantage of this, whether you're right or not. But give me an answer on what is the appropriate age. I think 12 is too young to be left alone at a lake. We're not babysitters. And it's very difficult to, you know, for our lifeguards to, you know, really watch everyone in the water. It's not like the water's clear, like I said, so.
We're all, Commissioner Notstein, we're already watching children under 12 at Mauch Lake Park Beach.
But the
As a
parents
matter of
are.
fact, the children walk down from the campsites and enjoy themselves in the water without adult supervision. You can observe it on any day at Mauch Lake Park when there are campers there. We just recently increased what we say is the age requiring supervision at Mauch Lake Park to 12. Likewise, Atlanta agreed to increase their ridership minimum age in Carbon County to 12. Understanding throughout the rest of their system that age is significantly lower. In regards to comparing a swimming pool such as Palmerton and Lehighton to Mauch Lake Park, if you visit those two pools on any warm summer day, the density of individuals per square meter, per square yard is significantly higher. So while you don't, higher than Mauch Lake Park. So while you may have clear bottoms, you have a higher density of people. Whereas at Mauch Lake Park, there is less density. Not saying that totally offsets risk, but again, we've taken appropriate measures to ensure our lifeguards are certified, trained, retrained, hiring of the lifeguard supervisor, who not only works scheduling, but also to ensure that, unlike in seasons past, when a lifeguard first comes to the beach on their first tour of duty or work, they're not simply not going to have refresher training or continual training throughout the summer. So again, we've taken appropriate steps to further mitigate the risk out there. Matter of fact, we've never had an incident of a drowning of a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, or a 16-year-old at Mauch Lake Park.
I would just say about the density, as you speak with the pools where you can see, with that density, there's far less chance of a drowning because of the others in the water as well. Okay, no further discussion for me.
No, we're good.
May I poll the board?
Yeah.
Mr. Honor?
No.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
The only reason I will support it at this point in time, not that I like it, but I want to see what the ridership is in these next 3 months. If people are going to take advantage of it or not. I know transportation in this county is a major issue. It's a hard one to solve. But, you know, unless we try this, I wish I could just exclude the park, the swimming area on this, but in order to find out what kind of ridership, is it worth investment of further, further transportation opportunities. So I will vote yes.
If I could just add, look, expectation management, those 14 seats aren't gonna be filled on these buses, right? We know it takes years to build up a clientele, you know? So again, let's go forth, let's see what happens. I know Lanta, Carbon Transit, Carbon Chamber, JTTA are gonna make a concerted effort to push this, not only to residents of Carbon County, but also to visitors